Hello learners, welcome again to this session. In our last session, we talked about forage establishment and management practices. Today, we want to look at forage conservation. What is forage conservation? In forage conservation, we'll start by defining what is the term forage. What is forage? Forage is any vegetative plant materials, including the stem, leaves, and head that is used as livestock feed. As you all aware of, or you all have an experience, forages grow well during the rainy season and grow more slowly, or stop growing altogether during the dry season, unless you are practicing irrigation. But on the other hand, our dairy cattle need to be fed all throughout the year in order to be able to produce milk. Dairy farmers therefore need to plan ahead and make sure that forages will be available during the season by doing or practicing forage conservation. Forage conservation, on the other hand, is used to transfer excess feed to the periods of feed deficit, that is, storing forage for the future use. Let's now look at the forage conservation methods. There are basically three main ways in which forage can be stored or conserved. One, it can either be dried and baled into hay. This is the most common approach many farmers use in our country. Two, the forages can be preserved by turning them into silage. And three, they can be left unharvested in the field and used as needed. We call this standing hay. Let's now look into each of these methods of forage conservation, and we'll start by looking at hay, the hay making process. Hay is made from grass or herbaceous legumes such as lucerne or desmodium. The fresh material is cut and dried naturally by the sun and wind, and in the process the water content is greatly reduced through the evaporation process. To make a good hay, it is important that the material is cut at the right stage or harvested at the right stage of the growing cycle. If cut too early, there will be little material for hay making. The grass or herbaceous legume is cut close to the ground and left in the field to dry. It is then turned over once a day for a period of 3 days, then baled. After successfully drying your materials in the field for 3 days, the next step is to bale them. Baling is just binding them and storing the material for future use. You will need a hay box and a sisal twine to do this process. First, you lay the twine inside the hay box, then get your material, the fodder material, the dried ones, put it in the hay box, then compress it or stack it all together and bind. After that, you remove the bale and store it in a place where it is free of rain and sunshine. Let's now look at a silage making process as our way of water or forage conservation. Unlike hay making, in which materials are dried, in silage making, the materials are conserved through a fermentation process. This is a similar process used to make beer. In a condition where there is little available air, or in simple term anaerobic condition. Natural microorganisms will turn the sugars in the plant material and the extra added as molasses into weak acids. This is a bit like a vinegar, which then acts as a preservative for the forage. So this is a forage that has been preserved through the fermentation process. The silage is ready after 6 to 8 weeks and will stay up to 2 years when stored well. The graphic representation on the screen shows the process of silage making, whereby you begin by chopping the material into smaller pieces of about 1 to 2 inches. You can use a panga or a machete or a chaff cutter or electric chaff cutter. The second step is to mix the molasses and the water at a ratio of 1 to 3. That is 1 liter of molasses to 3 liters of water. Then you sprinkle it on the chopped material. Then thereafter you stack it in the silage pack. Silage pack is of measurement of about 1,000 microgauge. Then thereafter you compress the material into the silage pack, making sure that you remove all the air, because the process requires no air at all, or the forage will be preserved through anaerobic condition. We had earlier said that after successfully making your hay, you need to store them in a cool, dry place away from the rain or sunshine, and also it should be free from the rodents to avoid destroying your hay. Currently, there are several methods you can use to make silage. One of them, the most common ones, are the use of silage bag or tube and the trench or bead method. After taking into account all the steps that is required to make silage, your product should be of high quality and should be free of molds. The pictures on the screen are an example of partly prepared silage. And with that, we've come to an end of our presentation. Thank you for listening and let's meet next. Bye.